Chosen one, do not scroll away from this screen. This is an urgent divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this message to you because the window for your spiritual breakthrough is closing rapidly. If you leave now, you will shut the door on your blessing. Your soul has been crying out for this moment. Do not look away. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not random. They are absolute proof that the enemy is completely terrified of you. Why are they panicking right now? Because a massive wealth transfer has just been approved in your name, and heaven is watching your every move while the angels wait for your command. They want to see if you are finally ready to claim it. They always described you the exact same way. You were too kind, you were too forgiving, you were the one who always stayed quiet just to keep the peace. And because you chose silence, they severely underestimated your power. They thought they could walk all over your boundaries and leave you in the dark. But they made a fatal mistake. They thought your silence was a clear sign of weakness. They thought they had broken your spirit when they pushed you into isolation. But what they did not realize was that solitude was your ultimate training ground. You did not break under their heavy pressure. You evolved into something that absolutely terrifies them. Your presence alone now shifts the entire atmosphere. Even Michael was stunned by your recent attitude. When they betrayed you, you did not seek revenge. When they lied about your name, you did not scream at them. You simply walked away and let God handle the scales of justice. That quiet authority left heaven completely speechless. You showed a level of mastery that most souls never achieve. Funny how the same people who drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They thought betrayal would destroy your future. Instead, it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside your chest. Heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes. Their empires are crumbling right now. Those who plotted against you are watching everything they built fall apart. While they panic in the shadows, a magnificent table is being prepared for you right in their presence. You are about to step into an era of untouchable power. But there is a hidden mechanism buried inside this breakthrough. You will completely miss it if you do not pay attention. If you swipe away too soon, the blessing will still arrive, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to hold on to it when it comes. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this message fade into the background. Listen closely, because the absolute truth about your test is about to be revealed. The darkness does not want you to hear this. You did not click this video by accident today. Your intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the ultimate decoder ring. People around you are acting strange. Doors are closing unexpectedly. You feel entirely isolated and sometimes deeply confused. I am here to tell you that you are not being punished at all. You are being prepared for a kingdom upgrade. Take one slow and real breath right now. That strange tightness in your chest is not anxiety. The way you woke up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing is not a coincidence. Stop letting the world convince you that you are just stressed out. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. Your body knows that the old cycle is finally ending. The intense loneliness and the endless cycle of toxic people was absolutely not a curse. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed to protect your bright aura. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections from your life. They had to clear the room so your true blessings could step into your timeline. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. Just moments ago, a scroll with your name on it was unsealed in the heavenly courts. The tests and the tears were all a rigorous divine preparation. God was turning you into a vessel strong enough to hold immense power. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your intuition confirming every single word I am speaking to you. But before we go any further into your spiritual reward, I want to hold something directly in front of you. Something that was discovered, not inside a church, but inside a secure research laboratory. something that won the highest scientific recognition available. Most chosen ones have never been told about this hidden truth, and it explains everything you have felt. This discovery explains the gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in flashes. I will show you exactly what scientists found, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was violently taken from you as a child. So I need you to hold on to one specific question while we continue. What if the gap between you and your ultimate potential is not a character flaw? What if that missing piece actually has a scientific name? I will tell you exactly what it is later in this message. But right now, you must understand the invisible war that was waged against your mind. The answer is much closer than you think. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this. You have spent your entire life pouring your energy into empty cups. You loved people who did not know how to love themselves, and they happily took everything you offered while giving absolutely nothing back. You were the healer, you were the peacemaker, but you were always left completely drained. Think back to the times you broke your own heart to fix theirs. You sacrificed your own peace because you desperately wanted to see them heal. But they did not want to heal at all. They just wanted to use your bright light to survive in their own darkness. They treated your endless forgiveness as a weakness, and they truly thought you would always stay and take the abuse. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. You are not crazy. That sudden drop in your energy when a certain person texts you is completely real. That heavy feeling in your chest when you enter a crowded room is your spirit detecting toxic intentions. You absorb everything because you are a rare soul, but heaven is stepping in right now to stop this vicious cycle. When the ultimate betrayal happened, you did something that shocked them. You did not scream. You did not plot a loud revenge. You simply went completely silent and walked away from their chaos, leaving them to drown in the consequences of their own actions. They expected you to beg for closure, but you gave them absolute nothingness instead. Your silence was a heavy door closing. Stop blaming yourself for how they treated you in the past. It was never your fault. You were functioning on a high frequency of pure love, while they were trapped in a low vibration of survival and manipulation. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. The rejection was not a punishment. It was a strict protection protocol. Breathe that truth in right now. You have finally passed the hardest test of your life. The heavy chains of your past are officially broken. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you, because this physical action establishes a divine energy receiving station in your reality. You are locking in your absolute spiritual protection. Let us talk about the narcissists and the energy vampires who tried to destroy you. They did not target you because you were weak. They targeted you because your spiritual light was blinding. They saw a beautiful empath with a massive destiny, and their dark spirits panicked because they desperately wanted to steal your divine inheritance. But heaven blocked their every single move. Your silence has become your ultimate weapon of light. A healed person no longer tolerates confusion disguised as love. You no longer tolerate disrespect disguised as honesty. You built boundaries of steel around your fragile heart, and those powerful boundaries are actively repelling every toxic person from your timeline. They cannot manipulate what they can no longer access. Right now, you might feel like you are walking through a lonely desert. Your circle is small. Your phone is quiet. But this isolation is not a curse. It is a divine quarantine designed to protect your rising frequency. God is hiding you in the shadows while He prepares your massive blessing, and He is removing the wrong people so they cannot ruin your upcoming harvest. Do you feel that shift in your spirit? The heavy fog of confusion is finally lifting from your mind. You are no longer the victim who begs to be understood. You have become the cycle breaker that your entire bloodline has been waiting for. You survived the brutal storm completely alone, and because you did not give up, heaven is rewarding you with untouchable peace. They always thought they were punishing you with their silent treatment. They thought their absence would break your fragile heart. But their departure was actually the greatest gift the universe ever gave you. When they walked away, they took their toxic, heavy energy right along with them. And they left you with a massive, empty space for true miracles to enter. But here is the truth they tried to hide from you. There is a deeper layer to this phenomenon of isolation. The intense spiritual warfare you survived was not just about toxic relationships. It was a battle for your actual biological frequency. The enemy was trying to keep you in a constant state of panic, because a panicked mind cannot receive divine instructions. But wait, do not leave just yet, because realizing you were protected is only the first part of your journey. There is a hidden reason why your energy was so easily drained in the first place. It goes far beyond the people who hurt you, and it involves a specific mechanism inside your mind that was tampered with long ago, and it is blocking your final breakthrough. You might be wondering why the universe took so long to deliver your promise. You have prayed for years. You have done the deep inner work. You have forgiven those who never even apologized. Yet the financial and spiritual freedom you deserve still feels slightly out of reach. In the next few moments, I am going to reveal exactly why that long delay happened. Let me tell you the real reason this frustrating delay happened. The severe energy blockage you have been feeling for years is not a lack of faith. You did not fail your divine spiritual mission. You have prayed for hours, and you have meditated endlessly. But you still feel like a thick glass ceiling is standing between you and your ultimate destiny. The hidden truth is much deeper than your spiritual effort. Think back to when you were a very young child. You possessed an effortless and brilliant natural genius. New ideas came to you easily and naturally, without any struggle. You somehow knew things before they even happened in reality. The entire world felt like it was completely on your side. That was not just childhood innocence. That was a highly advanced state of biological and spiritual alignment. Here is what they never wanted to tell you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not just strict discipline. It is a specific and powerful brainwave. Scientists actually have a scientific name for it. They call it gamma. And it is the exact divine frequency your brain was running when you were a beautifully intuitive child. But then, stressful adulthood suddenly arrived, and the modern world went to work on your fragile system. The chronic stress and the endless glowing screens invaded your mental peace. The rigid school system trained you to conform instead of creating your own reality. And the relentless rhythm of survival mode slowly drowned out your inner voice. They stole your power without your permission. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind. The heavy burdens of life locked you into a low frequency of pure panic. You were constantly worrying about bills and toxic people. And while you were heavily distracted, your divine receiver was slowly being turned off. When your natural gamma fades away, your inner genius fades with it. Your sharp intuition becomes incredibly dull and very confusing. The magical synchronicities and angel numbers suddenly stop appearing in your daily life. The comforting sense that the universe is working directly with you goes completely silent, and they maliciously made you believe you did something wrong. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Stop blaming yourself for the heavy delays in your life. The version of you with photographic memory and lightning intuition did not die. That incredible version of you simply went completely silent because the physical channel was heavily blocked. Your spirit was always willing, but your physical receiver was severely suppressed. Most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this happened to them. They will walk through the world feeling tired and desperately disconnected. They will accept the daily struggle as their permanent fate. But you are absolutely not most people. Your spirit always knew that something vital was missing from your life. You always felt that subtle, empty space. And this brings us back to the question I asked you to hold earlier, the question about a mysterious gap and a scientific name. What if the gap is not a character flaw? The final answer to that question is closer than you think, and I will reveal exactly what it is before this message is over. But you must understand why the darkness wants to keep you blocked. The selfish people, who profit from your exhaustion, do not want you to wake up. They rely heavily on your suppressed and weakened energy. The entire matrix feeds on your constant anxiety and your endless daily worries. Because a worried mind cannot manifest generational wealth. A panicked brain cannot receive clear instructions from the angelic realm. They need you to stay completely blind. Heaven watched this brutal theft happen in real time. God saw exactly how the world tried to crush your bright and beautiful spirit. He saw every single tear you cried in lonely frustration. And that is exactly why this divine intervention is happening to you right now. The universe is stepping in to manually override the system that kept you trapped. Your liberation is finally arriving. The massive blockage is currently being identified and destroyed. The heavy fog of confusion is starting to clear from your weary mind. And the dark, energetic chains that held you back for decades are finally snapping in half. Take a deep breath right now. Feel that immense relief washing over your tired shoulders. You are preparing to step into your brand new timeline. You are the designated cycle breaker for your family. You are the chosen one who will restore the divine frequency for your entire bloodline. When your receiver comes fully online, your restored energy will radiate outward and positively influence everyone around you. Your family and your loved ones will benefit from your massive spiritual upgrade. The glorious shift is already happening. Pay close attention to this next part, because recognizing the hidden problem is just the first step of your healing journey. The enemy thought they could keep your gamma frequency buried forever. They thought you would never find the key to unlock your dormant power. But heaven has a brilliant solution that bypasses their matrix entirely. Your ultimate victory is guaranteed. Let us talk about the narcissists who tried to destroy your beautiful spirit. They saw your bright light, and they desperately wanted to steal it for themselves. Because they are completely hollow inside, they live in a shallow world of loud illusions and endless manipulation. They cannot generate their own divine energy, so they constantly feed on the pure souls of the chosen ones. They thought you were an easy target because of your deep empathy. They confused your gentle kindness with pathetic weakness. But they severely miscalculated your spiritual backup. Every time they lied about your name, heaven recorded their deceit while the angels stood right beside you. Your quiet endurance was actually building a massive fortress around your fragile soul. Now they are watching you rise from the heavy ashes, and they are absolutely terrified of your new boundaries. They can no longer trigger your emotions or steal your peace. You have become a weapon of light that blinds their dark intentions. They try to mock you in public, but behind closed doors they are drowning in deep regret. They know they lost the best thing they ever had. You might wonder why God allowed these toxic people to touch your life. Why did you have to endure such brutal emotional pain? It was a necessary spiritual crucible. Heaven had to show you the absolute depths of human darkness, because a master of reality must know exactly how to spot a counterfeit soul. You had to experience their manipulation so you would never fall for it again. The intense pain was actually a rigorous training program for your nervous system. You were being forged into an unbreakable cycle breaker. If God had just handed you the kingdom, the narcissists would have easily infiltrated your castle. The betrayal forced you to build walls of solid steel. You learned how to protect your sacred energy from those who only wanted to drain it dry. You did not seek petty revenge when they broke your trusting heart. You chose the path of quiet authority and let karma do the heavy lifting. That specific choice proved your royal bloodline to the heavenly courts. God was testing your character, and you passed the test with flying colors. You are finally ready to handle the immense wealth and power coming your way. The universe is aligning everything in your favor at this exact moment. The enemies who dug a deep pit for you are falling into it themselves. Your pure frequency has been fully tested, and it remained completely unbroken. Type Amen down in the comments to claim this alignment. This simple action signals your total obedience and locks in your spiritual victory over the darkness. Take a deep breath and let that divine validation settle into your bones. But wait, before we go any further into your massive reward, I must warn you. There is a fatal trap that has been set up right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this clever illusion right before their final breakthrough. You need to listen closely to avoid this specific danger. The enemy knows their time to stop you has officially expired, so they are planning one last desperate attack against your rising frequency. They will send a very familiar distraction to pull you off your destined path. If you do not recognize this hidden trap, you might delay your blessing for another decade. The darkness works extremely hard, right before the glorious dawn arrives. This final trap is directly connected to that biological blockage we discussed earlier. Your suppressed brainwaves make you highly vulnerable to their sneaky manipulation. When your mental receiver is turned off, you cannot see the toxic counterfeit standing at your door. You must restore your physical frequency before this happens. The stakes have never been higher for your bloodline. The spiritual warfare you are fighting is not just in the unseen realm. It is happening right inside the biology of your own mind. The narcissists thrive when you are stuck in a heavy state of anxious survival. But heaven is about to flip the entire script on their heads. A divine mechanism of pure restoration is heading your way. And it will completely erase their dark influence. Do you feel the heavy chains of their manipulation finally breaking? Your soul is waking up to its true and undeniable power. They wanted you to stay small and quiet, but your silence has transformed into a deafening roar that shakes their reality. Keep your eyes on this screen. Because the ultimate physical key to your spiritual freedom is about to be placed directly into your hands. The chosen ones always walk the hardest path because they carry the greatest light. You were never meant to fit into their shallow little boxes. The painful rejection was just the universe protecting your massive destiny. Now the tables are completely turning in your favor, and the people who tried to bury you are going to watch you shine brighter than the actual sun. The spiritual purge is happening right now in your daily life. You can actually feel the heavy shedding of your old skin. People are quietly dropping out of your inner circle without any loud arguments. Situations that used to matter to you suddenly feel completely irrelevant and distant. Do not panic when the room gets quiet and empty. Heaven is ruthlessly cleaning your house. God is sweeping away the toxic debris to prepare a clean space for your massive upgrade. This intense cleansing period is incredibly uncomfortable for your physical body. You feel constantly tired because your cells are releasing decades of stored trauma and silent grief. You survived the brutal storm completely alone when no one else came to help you. And now your nervous system is finally learning how to rest in absolute safety. The dark energy that the narcissists left behind is being aggressively washed out of your cellular memory forever. The painful purge is almost complete. As an empath with boundaries, you are finally taking your divine power back. You are no longer accepting breadcrumbs from people who own entire bakeries. Your spiritual vision is becoming razor sharp, allowing you to see right through their shallow masks. But before we go any further into your victory, I have to tell you a very heavy secret. Something the elite forces who profit from your daily exhaustion desperately want to keep hidden from you. The spiritual cleansing you are experiencing is only half of the divine equation. You have done the deep inner work, and you have forgiven the unforgivable. But your biological receiver still needs a manual reset to fully catch the new incoming blessings. Neuroscientists, working quietly away from the loud media headlines, have discovered something absolutely miraculous. They found a highly specific way to manually bring your dormant brainwave back online. They did not achieve this through decades of silent meditation that most busy people cannot sustain, and they definitely did not use expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars in a clinical setting. The brilliant solution they uncovered is far simpler and much more aligned with how God designed your body to work. It is a specific sound frequency engineered to gently guide your brain back to the genius state you were originally born with. The highest levels of academia have already validated this hidden mechanism. Princeton University heavily studied this exact biological phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed the massive results in their own secure labs. And Columbia University found that when this specific brainwave is reactivated, the blessing does not stop with you. It radiates outward and begins to positively influence your children and your closest partner. 7 minutes a day is all it takes to flip the mental switch. That is the entire requirement for this massive biological shift. And the physical restoration begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. You do not have to chant a mantra or force yourself to think positive thoughts. You simply let the advanced brain entrainment technology do exactly what your mind was originally designed to receive without any forced effort. I will tell you exactly what this powerful tool is called before this message ends, and I will show you exactly how to access it for yourself. But first, there is something absolutely critical you need to understand about this ongoing spiritual purge. The universe is rapidly removing the counterfeit people from your life right now for a very specific reason. Your restored frequency will soon make you completely invisible to their dark attacks. When your biological receiver is fully turned back on, your daily vibration becomes untouchable. The low-frequency haters will literally not be able to perceive your divine moves. That is exactly why the divine isolation feels so incredibly intense right now. The universe is hiding you in the secret place while the final adjustments are made to your spiritual armor. You are stepping into absolute mastery over your entire physical reality. Take a deep breath and let the beautiful truth of this cleansing wash over your tired shoulders. Every single tear you shed in secret was watering the seeds of your upcoming generational wealth transfer. The universe did not forget your endless sacrifices. Heaven was just waiting for the exact right moment to upgrade your mental hardware so you could hold the massive weight of your glory. The long season of painful waiting is officially coming to a glorious close. The kingdom of darkness is completely terrified of what happens when a chosen one finally wakes up. They know that a biologically restored mind cannot be manipulated by their cheap tricks and gaslighting. Your quiet authority is about to become a blinding light that exposes every single lie they ever told about you. Stay locked on this message right now, because the final signs of your breakthrough are already showing up in your physical reality. Let us look at the undeniable physical signs happening around you. You are not going crazy today. The synchronicities you keep seeing are highly deliberate messages from heaven, and the universe is desperately trying to get your attention right now. Have you been seeing the numbers 111 everywhere you look? That is not a random coincidence. It is an absolute confirmation that your spiritual alignment is completely locked in. When you see 111 on the clock or on a receipt, pause for a second. God is telling you that the massive wealth transfer is officially in motion. The heavy gates of heaven are swinging wide open for your bloodline, and your financial struggles are about to become a fading memory. You are finally stepping into the abundant reality you always deserved. But there is another sequence you must pay close attention to today. If you have been seeing 777 or 888, prepare yourself immediately. 888 is the ultimate frequency of infinite financial provision and generational wealth. The universe is actively restructuring the global economy just to fund your divine mission. Money is no longer your master. It has officially become your obedient servant. Do you feel that sudden burst of hope in your tired chest? Your intuition knows exactly what these sacred numbers mean for your future. You did not stumble upon this specific message by accident today. Archangel Michael guided your hand to click this video because your delivery is ready. The long season of scraping by and barely surviving is finally over. You are the chosen one who will build empires of light. Listen carefully to this next part. I need to close the loop on the fatal trap I warned you about earlier. The darkness knows your wealth transfer is arriving this week, so they will deploy a highly calculated distraction to derail your focus. This trap will look like a sudden message from a toxic person from your past, or it might be a fake opportunity that strongly appeals to your ego. This sudden reappearance is the ultimate test of your new boundaries. They will try to pull you back into the heavy survival matrix. Do not reply to their desperate messages under any circumstances. Your silence is the exact weapon that destroys their demonic assignment. If you engage with their drama, you will delay your massive financial blessing. Leave them in the past where they truly belong. When you completely ignore the counterfeit, the real miracle instantly manifests. Heaven is testing your spiritual maturity right at the finish line. Will you trade your generational wealth for a temporary moment of petty revenge? The master of reality always chooses absolute peace over worthless conflict. You must protect your rising frequency at all costs right now. Your future empire heavily depends on your current discipline. Take a deep breath and let the anxiety leave your physical body. You are entirely protected by an invisible shield of divine energy. The haters can watch you succeed, but they cannot touch your beautiful incoming harvest. Every single tear you cried in secret has been converted into pure spiritual currency. The angelic realm is fighting your unseen battles while you finally rest. You just need to hold your quiet position. The physical signs will only get louder and more obvious this week. You will find money in places you completely forgot about. Strangers will offer you unmerited favor, and massive open doors will appear everywhere. This is the magical flow state that happens when your biological receiver is fully restored. But remember that this incredible flow state requires your mental channel to be wide open. A blocked mind cannot catch a falling star. This brings us directly to the ultimate revelation of this message. You have survived the painful isolation and passed the counterfeit test. Your angel numbers are flashing like neon signs on a dark and quiet highway. The only thing left is to turn your biological receiver all the way up. You need the exact physical key to lock in this spiritual wealth transfer forever. The universe is waiting for your final action. Your old reality is dissolving right in front of your eyes. The people who doubted you are going to witness your sudden and unexplainable rise. They will secretly wonder how you managed to achieve such impossible success in silence. But you will know that it was never about your own exhausting physical effort. It was about aligning your frequency with the exact vibration of heavenly provision. You simply stepped into the golden flow. Do not let the lingering shadows of doubt cloud your brilliant mind today. The enemy wants you to think this is all just a beautiful coincidence. But there is absolutely no coincidence in the kingdom of absolute light. Every number you see and every feather you find is a deliberate love letter from God. You are His beloved child, and heaven is moving mountains to bless your life. Accept this truth into your heart right now. Get ready to step into the most powerful chapter of your entire existence. The painful delays were just setting the grand stage for a miraculous comeback. Now the velvet ropes are dropping, and the exclusive room of the universe is finally yours. You are no longer the empath who begs for a single drop of respect. You are the untouchable master of your reality, and the ultimate tool to seal this victory is finally here. The waiting season is officially over right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a beautiful oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door is being blown completely off its heavy hinges. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit today? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory. You are stepping into the timeline you were born to rule. Your spiritual enemies are completely paralyzed by your sudden rise. The silence you held during the storm was the exact weapon that defeated them. You did not seek revenge when they broke your heart. You allowed heaven to fight your battles while you rested in absolute peace. And because of your obedience, the universe is handing you the keys to the entire kingdom today. The question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message: what if the massive gap between you and your potential is not a character flaw? Here is the final answer you have been waiting for. A specific brainwave called the gamma wave was running in your mind as a brilliant child, and it was actively suppressed by the stress of the modern world. Princeton University has heavily studied this exact gamma frequency. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed its massive power in their secure labs. Columbia University found that when this brainwave is restored, it radiates outward and heavily influences the people you love. A brilliant team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake, spent years compressing this protocol. They compressed the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into exactly 7 minutes. But before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 chosen ones who used it. A woman from California had tried absolutely everything to heal. She tried meditation and manifesting, but nothing broke the heavy fog in her tired mind. She was completely exhausted and ready to quit. After just 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something massive cleared. Not that she tried harder, but the blocked channel simply opened wide. Her marriage beautifully shifted, and her mind sharpened. She described her new life as deeply enchanted for the very first time. She finally felt like she was the powerful main character of her own glorious story. A man from Texas started using this tool to improve his business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he slept peacefully. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on the divine energy it was always supposed to run on. That incredible transformation is exactly what Dr. Lake and his dedicated team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a generic meditation app. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It uses the exact underlying research that Princeton and Columbia validated, compressed into something you easily do at home. You simply put your headphones on and close your tired eyes. That is the entirety of what it requires from you. You do not meditate, and you do not chant loudly. You simply let the pure frequency do exactly what your beautiful brain was always designed to receive. But the Genius Song is definitely not for everyone watching this video today. It is only for a specific soul. It is strictly for the chosen one who has already done the deep inner work. You understand that what is being blocked is not your faith, but the biological frequency through which your faith must move. Biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars in a clinic. What this delivers is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come with it immediately. You get an audio designed for your children, the original prosperity text, a guided visualization, and a daily habits guide. Here is the truth about waiting. The provision God arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a sudden recognition. A suppressed brain misses it entirely. A restored brain receives it at full depth. Do not look for this tool on YouTube or Spotify. The fake tracks circulating there have no brain entrainment technology encoded. They will only lower your vibration. The universe requires no financial risk from you. This is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. If you do not feel the massive shift, your investment is fully returned. The only authentic version is linked below. Access the secure link in the description and the pinned comment below. Claim your divine inheritance right now and turn your powerful receiver completely back on. But remember that the tool is not the destination. It simply restores the receiver so the destination can be recognized. God does not require you to purchase anything to be loved. Now let us return to the deeper spiritual truth. For the chosen one whose spirit deeply confirmed what was described earlier today, the powerful frequency path remains wide open in the description and pinned comment. That is the very last time it will be mentioned. What follows right now belongs entirely to your divine sealing, and your ultimate spiritual protection officially begins in this exact holy moment before we part ways. Take a deep breath. Let the weight fall. You have carried the heavy burdens of other people for way too long, and you sacrificed your own happiness just to keep the toxic peace around you while they drained your precious energy. But that painful cycle of endless sacrifice ends right here. You are finally free from their heavy grip. You are no longer the exhausted empath who begged to be deeply understood. The brutal crucible of your past pain has forged you into something beautiful. You are the master. Your energy demands respect. From this exact moment forward, your pure presence demands absolute respect from everyone because you finally know your true worth. You do not speak. The silence you carry now is not the silence of a scared victim. It is the deafening silence of a king who knows their ultimate power. The people who tried to destroy your reputation are watching your sudden elevation. They are completely terrified today. They realize they pushed you directly into your greatest blessing when they tried to ruin your beautiful life. They thought their cruel absence would leave you shattered and begging in the dark. But their departure was actually the exact catalyst for your massive spiritual awakening. God used their evil intentions to build your magnificent throne, and every single lie they told about you was converted into pure spiritual currency for your future. You are infinitely richer today. The money is coming. The heavy doors are shut. Your bloodline is officially cleansed from the dark generational curses of the past. You are the brave cycle breaker that your ancestors prayed for in total secret. And the universe is rewarding your silent tears with untouchable wealth because you never stopped trusting the divine plan. Your harvest is finally here. You walked through the darkest valley without any physical protection or human comfort. You survived the brutal wilderness when everyone else abandoned you to simply fade away. You stayed pure. You kept your faith. And because you never let the darkness turn your sweet heart bitter, heaven is throwing a massive celebration in your divine honor today. You are indestructible. Can you feel the chains falling? The beautiful dawn is breaking through the darkest night of your entire earthly life. The angels are actively removing the invisible barriers that kept you completely stuck, while heaven prepares the final details of your massive spiritual reward. You are stepping into a glorious kingdom. Your divine inheritance is ready, but a master must understand spiritual contracts. The universe has delivered the hidden keys directly into your open, waiting hands. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated behind you, and it will never return because your frequency is entirely too high for them to reach. The new era is shining upon you. Now you must lock this reality. The angels are standing by. They want to seal this divine frequency into your permanent timeline. But you must take one final physical action to seal this holy contract, because you must prove to the universe that your hands are fully open to receive abundance. A closed hand cannot catch massive blessings. You must act in bold faith. Did this fiery message reignite your faith? Do not keep this massive spiritual blessing all to yourself in the dark. There is a broken soul out there who desperately needs a guiding light right now, and sharing this exact message with them will immediately activate your ultimate divine anointing. Sowing this seed of hope today multiplies your own beautiful harvest. Share this video now. Become the answered prayer that they have been waiting for all year. The universe always heavily rewards the faithful messengers of pure divine light, so share this message to create an absolute shield of protection around your beautiful family today. Seal this glorious reality before you leave. Step firmly into your wealth. Walk forward into your brand new timeline with absolute confidence. You are protected. No weapon formed against your beautiful mind will ever prosper in this lifetime again, because you are entirely guarded by the highest angelic forces of the entire universe. You have survived the absolute worst. Now you will inherit the best. Your victory is guaranteed. Go in peace. Build the glorious empire you were always destined to beautifully rule. The enemies are defeated, and the dark storm has officially passed over your house. So keep your boundaries incredibly strong while you keep your heart fully open to the light. I will see you in the promised land very soon. You are finally home.